It is April 29th, 2012. We're sitting here with Bubby, otherwise known as the Big Boba. The Big Boba,
Malka.
otherwise known as Malka. Right.
The
Malka's
queen.
really her name. And we have here the person who is asking the questions and
My loving
the
daughter
photographer.
And my
Hello.
loving son.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you ready for the first question? Okay. What do you want your children and grandchildren to know about you?
About me personally. Well, I want them to realize and feel the overwhelming love that I have for them. My desire my utmost desire to wish them happiness in whatever mode of life they choose. It's very important for me to know that they are happy in whatever choices they make.
So you want to, and what do you want to know about you? Yeah, when they
About me
say, my Bubby,
personally, yeah.
my Bubby.
About me personally, I want them to know I feel my outstanding Israeli background, my Jewish background and ties to Israel. That is uppermost in my mind, so they can value my roots.
Beautiful.
Because I feel that that is very, very important and a great part of my heritage is Israel and my outstanding background.
Beautiful.
Okay. Okay. What people have meant the most to you? Or which people have meant the most to you?
Talking about family or friends.
Yeah, go.
Specifically,
Anyone.
yeah.
You could
Anyone
start families, good.
Yeah. Well, the most important in my life has been my family. It always, always has been. Family was uppermost, and that goes way back to my ties to my sister, twin sister, older sister, and my commitment to try to make their life as easy as possible by always help them in every way I knew how. So that's
The people who meant the most to you.
is my family.
And anyone else? Well, your family includes your extended family. Your immediate family you talked about.
But I'm not talking about friends,
Right. Your family. Okay.
just
Okay.
family.
That's good.
Anyone else specifically in your family? I'm just asking.
That have meant the most. No, they're all equally important to my life, no matter where they are. I have been blessed that where I live, I have my daughter and son-in-law. That has been very, very important to me, to feel connected to them, to have somebody close by. My son I feel very, very close to, even though he's so far away, but always close and thought and love, and I hear from him all the time. So,
And what about your growing up, your family growing up in your life
Anything you want to say about them anymore?
that you want your
Your
Yeah,
kids
like
to know?
my parents.
kids.
Sure, sure.
Well, my parents were very, very loving. My mother especially. I was very, very close to my mother. My dad's, my relationship to my dad occurred much later because of the way my father evolved in his life and thoughts. I was very close to my brother, or felt close to him, but he was
To Harry, Uncle
to
Harry.
Harry, but he was away a lot. So my father's relationship and me was more distant.
Right.
Because when I think of my twin sister, Charlotte, she had a very close relationship, feeling-wise, to my dad, and I had it to my mother.
You were close to your mom.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay. Okay, what do you want your children and grandchildren to know about your feelings about Judaism?
At one time, the religious part meant a lot to me. Temple, affiliation with temple, prayers, being part of Judaism in general. I recall and regret, that's my feelings that I had when my daughter was marrying out of the faith. It was absolutely not called for. I regret the big deal I made over it because my main concern is for their happiness, wherever, however they choose to practice their Judaism, is that they should be happy in their life.
Beautiful.
And what about your feelings about Israel? What do you want your children and grandchildren to know?
Well, I want them to know about my background, which I feel my Israeli background is very illustrious, and very important. My connection to Israel, the birth of my parents in Safed and Tzfat, and I want them to appreciate and value that connection in every which way they can. It's that part of my life is very important, and I hope my family and grandchildren will value that.
Okay. What are the most important values to you?
Is to be satisfied and happy with oneself. That's very important to me. And that's a big thing to ask and to be granted, that blessing. A person to be satisfied and happy under his skin. to want to be like somebody else or different. To be satisfied with how one is living, and not to seek a different mode that's not part of it.
Okay. And I guess any other ethical values that are important to you? Like
Well,
ways, you lived your life
Yeah, well,
ethically?
I've always maintained support for the little guy, for the people that have nots. I always had democratic humanitarian values, which meant a lot to me, and I admire people who feel the same way.
Okay. How do you want to be remembered?
By whom?
By us.
By my family?
Yeah.
Well, I want to be remembered for my basic humanitarian values, the way I've lived my life, my respect and concern for the other guy. I'm always valued people who even worked for me. They were always treated like family members. And there was never a hierarchy between people who I employed and my regular association with people, friends and family. So I feel I led a good humanitarian life, concern for others.
Okay.
And my big thing, and I always hope that my grandchildren will be happy with who they are and be comfortable with who they are. That's my hope.
Okay, is that it? Okay, you may have already answered this question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Are there specific directions you have for your children and grandchildren?
I think I reiterated above. I want my grandchildren, again, to be satisfied and happy with who they are, to be proud of their heritage, to be proud of their connection to Israel, to value that, which I feel is a very, very important connection, is our heritage, our background to Israel, and my parents and grandparents' life in Israel. I think that has enriched us all, and I hope they feel that enrichment too.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.